Most people have been asking a lot of questions ever since the UK government made changes on their immigration system. In this video, I'm going to be answering all the questions that people ask on skilled worker route, temporary shortage occupation list, who is bringing dependents, salary rules, and many more. Okay, so I'm going to be answering all that questions today. And if by the end of this video, your question is still unanswered, if you have further questions to ask, please feel free to drop it in the comments and I will answer you. Okay, now let's get straight into this video. Hi everyone, my name is Ollie. You're welcome back to my channel, and please feel free to subscribe and turn on your notification bell. The first question on my list is, can skilled worker holders still bring their dependents? You know, when we talk about skilled worker visa, it is broad. There are so many jobs on skilled worker visa. So the answer to this question is yes. You can bring your dependents, but in some certain cases. So if your certificate of sponsorship was issued before 22nd of July 2025, and you still maintain a continuous skilled worker status, then you can bring your dependents. But if your certificate of sponsorship was issued before 22nd of July 2025, then you cannot bring your dependents, except for some role under health and care worker visa. Roles like doctors, nurses, radiographers, physiotherapists. Reason is because these roles, people that are applying on these roles, they have degree level. They have equivalent of RQF level 6. So they can continue to bring their dependent as long as they meet the requirements for this new visa change. As long as their salary level is up to standard and their RQF threshold is up to standard, doctors, nurses, physiotherapists, and the rest of them can still bring their dependents to the UK. These new changes did not affect them at all. The second question on my list is, what about care workers and senior carers? Can they still bring their dependents? Now, the answer to this is no. As long as this group of people do not have a dependent here in the UK before 11th of March 2024, they can no longer bring their dependents. We all know that there is an already existing restrictions on this category since last year. It started 11th of March 2024, and this restriction still exists up till date. So this group of people cannot bring their dependents. It's only if they already had their dependents in the UK before 11th of March 2024, or there are other circumstances if they have a child born in the UK as well, because they're already staying here, and if they have a child born in the UK, that child can also be their dependent. Another question is, what are the new salary threshold? We all know that the baseline for skilled workers has increased. Of course, following these new changes, everything increased, including the salary level. But the standard threshold is 38,700 for most jobs, although that has increased to 41,700. But it all depends on the standard going rates of your occupation. So you need to check that out. Now, if your job is on the temporary shortage list, the threshold, the salary threshold can be lower, between, let's say, 23,000 to 30,000 and thereabouts. There are so many jobs listed on this temporary shortage occupation list. I have made a video on it, so you can do well to watch that video to see the jobs there and their salaries included. There is also discount for new entrants and PhD holders. So when you're talking about salary requirements, you have to look at the standard threshold for skilled work visa. You look at the salaries for temporary shortage occupation lists, because those ones have lower salaries, okay? And then there is special cases. There are discounts given for those on PhD holders and new entrants. So all the information that I'm giving is from www.gov.uk website. So always check this website when you need questions to your answers. Go through this website and you will be clarified. The fourth question is, I'm already in the UK on a skilled work visa. Do this new rule affect me? Now, the answer to it is, If you are extending your visa, switching jobs, or already on the route, you usually keep your existing rights. The new changes mainly affect new applicants. And also remember what we talked about. It depends on the particular job that you are referring to. If it's job from RQF level 6, it does not affect your ability to bring your dependents. If you are a health and senior carer, it affected it because they already have existing restrictions for care workers and senior carers. So you need to know the exact job that you're referring to. Okay? The fifth question is, how do I check if my job is on the temporary shortage list? So there is something that we call cascade coding tool that you can use online. You can use it to check the code of your job and then compare it with the temporary shortage list that was listed out to see your job role, the code, and the salaries included. Or you can just check the video that I've made on temporary shortage occupation list. You check if your job is there and then you can see the salary requirements for it. Or you use the cascade coding tool to check the job code for your specific role and then compare it with the temporary shortage list. You will then see your job and the salaries included. The sixth question is, do NHS clinical support workers count as care workers under this new rule? So the answer is no. Clinical support workers are classified as medium-skilled jobs. They are not under the category of care workers and senior carers. So this means that they can still bring their dependents in the UK as long as their certificate of sponsorship was issued before 22nd of July 2025. So if you're lucky enough and you have COS issued before July 2025, you can still bring your dependents to the UK. But if your COS was issued after 22nd of July 2025, you can no longer bring your dependents. I hope I'm clear enough. The last question, I am a student switching to the skilled worker visa. Does this new change affect me? So the answer is yes. If you are a student switching to a skilled work visa, you need to meet the salary threshold. You will need to meet the salary threshold. And also, depending on the job you're applying for, you may also need to meet the skill threshold as well. So the answer is yes. If you are a student and you're switching from student visa to skilled worker visa, you need to meet the salary requirements. And also, depending on the job role that you're applying for, you may also need to meet the skill requirements, which is RQF level 6, unless you're applying to jobs on temporary shortage occupation list that will allow you to have only skill level between 3 and 5 for you to apply. You also need to check well on the dependent rule. Check to see if you're able to bring your dependents on that job that you're applying. Okay? So just know that if you're applying to be a carer or a senior carer or whatever, because you're already in the UK, you may not be able to bring your dependent. So it all depends on the job role. But if you're applying to become a nurse, doctor, radiographer, and the rest of them, and you have a skill level up to level 6, then you can bring your dependent. But the salary threshold will apply to you. So you need to check the salary requirements for that job role that you're applying to and make sure that your employer will be able to afford that for them to issue COS for you. Okay? So in conclusion, if you're already in the UK on a skilled worker visa, you maintain your existing rights. So it doesn't affect most people that have already been in the UK on these skilled worker routes. These changes affect people that are coming in, new applicants, people that are applying to switch to skilled worker routes. It affects them the more, okay? I know that a lot of people are confused, people are asking questions, and the essence of this video is to clarify these questions. And I hope that I have clarified some of the doubts you have and, some of the questions that you have in your mind. But if you still have further questions, please feel free to drop it in the comments, okay? And if you like this video, if I have answered your questions, please give me a thumbs up. Also comment and also share to people that will find this video beneficial. We've come to the end of this video. My name is Ollie. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. For now, you take care. Bye-bye.